Welcome to Real Talk, the podcast where we get honest about what's really going on in your body and how to take control of your health. I'm your host, Dr. Daniel Sproul, integrative health practitioner and professor. And today we're breaking down something that many people struggle with: nutrient deficiencies and why eating healthy sometimes isn't enough. If you ever felt like you're doing it right by eating clean, taking your vitamins, maybe even tracking macros, but you're still tired, foggy, anxious, or even stuck, this one's for you. Because the truth is, personalized nutrition is a missing link, right? And today we're going to unpack what's really going on underneath your symptoms and how to fix it.
Hey y'all, I'm Gerardo Ortega, your co-host. I've had moments like this before, just in general, living life, but I still felt like garbage. I'm looking forward to getting into this because I think a lot of people are just out there guessing their way through nutrition, taking whatever they see on social media, whatever is out there, whatever is popular at the moment.
Yeah, just another video, another product sold.
It takes time. We've said this many times in the podcast before. This is not overnight, and
Yep,
it takes time.
we're here to get you healthy. As a quick reminder, this podcast for informational and educational purposes only. We do not diagnose, cure, or treat any illness or disease. So let's get into it and talk about why just eating better isn't always the answer. You can eat all right foods and still be nutrient deficient. I don't think a lot of people know that.
No, these are some of the things I've struggled with before.
Right. And I'm not just talking about folks who live on fast food and soda. People who are really trying meal prepping, eating organic, hitting the gym, taking supplements, and still feel tired, foggy, anxious, and stuck. I see in my practice every single week they come frustrated, wondering, what am I doing wrong? And the answer usually isn't what you're doing wrong. It's about what their body isn't absorbing or what it's burning through faster than they can replenish. We see that a lot with electrolytes. People burn a lot of electrolytes and they do not replenish them. So
Yeah.
they wonder why they have these symptoms, but you do. So here's things that most people don't realize. Your body's nutrients needs aren't static. They shift with stress, lifestyle, medication, age, sleep quality, digestive health, and even your trauma history. So even if you're eating clean, such as greens, lean protein, smoothies, you can still be missing key nutrients like magnesium, B12, iron, zinc, or your omega-3s. I think, Geraldo, you learned that, didn't you?
Yeah, I've been there. And I've been there and I've been working all day outside, sweating a lot, not eating the best food out there, as well with coming home and doing side projects, cutting the grass and just dragging through the day. I notice as well now, like even in days like I've said this before, I'm comparing this year me to last year me. I'm running a lot better now. Taking the correct needs as far as supplements, as far as just the tiny changes with adding the electrolytes in my water.
Yeah, because I think that's where a lot of people don't understand how important a multivitamin is, for one, but they're very important. And it just goes in different directions too. It's like you do have those people that work out a lot, eat proper, and like is saying, what am I doing wrong? And it's not always what you're doing wrong. It's like it says, it's your body's not absorbing it. And we saw that in the organic acid test. We may see you're taking vitamin C and stuff. And then we look at the tests and you know what? Your body's not absorbing this. So let's look more deeper into that, why it's not. And I think you see that with the food sensitivity test.
Yes, no, that was for me. That was an eye, and not an eye sore, but it was a. It's kind of like shock to me
Eye
what I
opener.
shouldn't. Yeah, exactly, an eye opener. To me, it's I was eating things that weren't sitting right in my body that were causing me harm. To me, technically, they were comfort foods like my yogurt parfaits, having almond milk in my coffee, and then finding out that I have a low sensitivity to almonds. So I was instead of helping myself switching out the dairy milk products to a almond product, it was causing me more harm than good.
Yeah. And that's where a lot of people, they'll say, oh, I take so much protein. We always know, like we talked before, a lot of people are sensitive to these protein shakes, pea protein, whey protein.
That's me.
It all depends. For me too, it's like that's why I'm limited. And if I do have protein shakes, I do them in a like low quantity. If it requires you to do a full scoop and a full scoop's 30, 40 grams of protein, that's too much for me to have at once when it comes to a protein shake. Now, if it's two chicken breasts, no issues. But if it's a protein shake, so it's something in there, it's just doesn't mix well with myself.
All the preservatives that they have to add in it just for it to have a longer shelf life. Me personally, I do, and I would recommend anybody by body health. It's the perfect aminos.
Yeah.
That to me, no issues, no digestive issues, no cramps, none of that stuff. Versus you have all the popular pre-made protein products out there. They're good. They have great flavors, but quite frankly, they don't sit well with me. Not just with me, but in my gut alone.
Yeah. I think the big thing is when you have those protein shakes is that bloating feeling
Yeah.
or people feel gassy and stuff afterward. It's just not worth it.
No, not at
Like,
all.
yeah, you go to have that shake because you want to get the protein, then you feel like garbage afterwards. You're like, ugh, I'm not doing this again.
No, I agree. And if that's the case, if you're gonna spend already, let's say, what are they, like a 4 pack of proteins? What are we talking
Yeah,
about?
like 10, 12, 15
10?
bucks.
Yeah, that. Why not just go to the store and buy chicken breast and have it right after you, either before or after you work out? Just have it pre-made.
Yeah, I think that's where a lot of people struggle too with prepping. But that's where you could use trifecta or some of those other ones too. Depends what your budget's in for and how often you eat and stuff. And I guess what kind of meals you do too. Are you vegan? Are you paleo? Or do you eat meat? And then if not, it's sometimes it's very hard to get enough protein on a plant-based diet.
That is hard, yes. And not everything you eat. And even for the vegetarians, some of them might just eat lentils and their veggies, but me personally, I don't think it's still enough. I feel like they need a lot of the not some, but most of the nutrients that meat actually has in it.
Oh yeah, because that's a big one. Is a lot of vegans and stuff are deficient in like B vitamins,
Gosh,
B12 and stuff. It's because you can't get that without having meat or taking a supplement. And I think a lot of people struggle not knowing that there's nutrient deficiencies out there, right? But that's where everything goes. The staple of your foundation is nutrition. And people hear that, but I don't think they listen to that.
they don't acknowledge. They don't want to truly let their actual guard down and finally break it down and say, okay, what do I really need? What's
Yeah,
really going on?
because one of the things a lot of people say too on these different protocols and stuff too, you have to be, if there's a diet plan that goes with it, you have to be very specific to that diet plan, such as you're doing a 21-day detox or a candida protocol or anything like that. The reason you need to be specific to certain diets is because it's different than a pharmaceutical, right? You have a pharmaceutical that's very strong that works to kill whatever bacteria and stuff versus you doing this via nutrition, the healthy way. It just takes longer and you have to be more precise because food's going to help heal. So people just need to eat the right thing and follow the right script and get to the right place. But a lot of people do not know about nutrient deficiencies. And I think that's where we talk more about people should still take a multivitamin, but you hear some people say, oh, again, we mentioned on a different podcast, but you don't live in a third world country. You don't need a multivitamin. And that's just not true. And we could show test after test that proves that you need a multivitamin.
How else would anybody be vitamin D deficient? If you're getting the sun daily, me, and I'm still deficient.
Yeah. So it goes again. Why is your body not absorbing it properly or making it? It's a trial by error. You have to learn these things, do different testing, and see how you feel. And again, for those that do take vitamin D supplements, it takes your body like 3 to 6 months for your levels to get optimal, which are around like 50 to 80, not 30. So your normal labs might come back, oh, as long as you're at 30, you're okay, but that's not optimal.
And you're feeling like crap.
Yeah. So definitely increase that and stuff too, because it helps regulate hormones and stuff too. So it's a common story, right? People assume they're eating nutrient rich foods. Their body must be using them efficiently. And that's not right. Digestion, stress, and inflammation, these are things that'll block absorption. So you could eat the best diet in the world and still feel like garbage, even if your gut is working. So let's break down 4 big reasons why you could be doing everything right and still feel off. Have any guess what one of those would be?
The one I struggle the most, gut health.
Yeah, exactly. So if your stomach acid is low, enzymes are weak, and your gut lining is damaged, you're not breaking down food properly. That means less nutrient extraction and more deficiencies, even on a great diet. And this is a lot of people. Oh, I hear it all the time. I eat healthy. Let's look at that.
But what is healthy? And I've said this already, with anybody that's eating the correct way, a well balanced diet, a lot of people will consider, oh, you're dieting. No, I'm just eating right for my body. I'm not buying a cheeseburger every day. It's just now I'm eating for myself, not just to please my little cravings that I have for half an hour.
Yeah, and people remember they say 21 days is habit. So the first 21 days are struggle when you change your lifestyle. So just keep that in mind. And if you hear my voice a little different, my allergies are going nuts because of this great.
Illinois weather or that dust storm that we had with last Friday,
Yeah,
1 week ago.
that was the government.
And I wouldn't put it past them, but a lot of people that didn't have any allergy issues all of a sudden became very sensitive to allergies this past week. So
They're out to get us.
shout out to Surtec.
Yeah. So another one would be nutrient depleting medications, which a lot of people do not think that they're not aware of this, but birth control, antacids, metformin, SSRIs, statins, these all drain nutrients like B6, B12, magnesium, folate, and CoQ10, CoQ10. You might not feel the effect immediately, but over time it adds up. So how many people are on tons of medications out there and they're eating proper, but the medication's causing the problem.
And you would think the doctors ain't gonna prescribe these medications and also let you know, hey, just an FYI, these medications will deplete your nutritions like vitamin B6, B12, magnesium, folate, and or the CoQ10. If that was the case, I don't think nobody would want to even go back to doctors because they would say, hey, I'm taking the prescription that you're giving me, but then again, you're also telling me to take a handful of supplements that I'm gonna get depleted from.
Yeah, and no fault of the medical doctors themselves is they don't do the research in this stuff.
No.
So they most of them do not know this information. And again, we do have good medical doctors out there and medical doctors that are into integrative health too, but they do not do the research. So you are your own advocate. So if you're being prescribed a medication, do research. Is it worth taking? Is it beneficial? What's it going to do to your body? And if you're on medications now, you got to do that research. But the hard thing on it is you see so many people on multiple medications.
Got
So how do
that.
they interact with each other and what are they doing to your body internally?
That right there. That part alone is scary just because even being part of the a volunteer fireman with you, and I can't remember. It's been many moons, but I know it was if a certain patient has, I don't know if it was oxygen, like a having assistance with oxygen, there was a certain medication that you couldn't pump in them because they would block and you would cause more damage. I don't remember what it was, but so
And
chief, if you're listening to this, I'm sorry.
yeah, so if you're on oxygen, don't smoke.
Exactly.
So another one would be chronic stress. Stress depletes magnesium, B vitamins, and vitamin C. It also shuts down digestion, which affects how you absorb what you eat. And we see this a lot on organic acid tests. People are very stressed out. We could see it in that organic acid test. And a lot of times, high stress, we see very low vitamin C.
God. Now, question real quick, side note for that. For the chronic stress, for anybody dealing with chronic stress, could it get better by them taking a multi plus of vitamin C? Can they see like a reduction in the stress levels?
You got to change your lifestyle factors, but in general, yeah, when you're depleted on stuff, it's easier to get more anxious and get more angry and all that stuff too, because your brain chemicals and stuff's out of whack. Like we were talking earlier, is hormones, all your nutrients in general just falls out of place. That's why we're here to rebalance the body. And people don't realize like how important B vitamin is for your mental state until you're on it for 6 weeks, 8 weeks. And then I had a lot of clients come to me and be like, man, it's night and day difference. And they no longer take like Xanax because the B complex has helped a lot. So there are other opportunities out there for you to do to try. But again, always work with your primary care physician if you plan to take supplements and if you're on any kind of medications and stuff like that too. So just something to know, but you could always reach out if you have any questions. Another one, here's one of my big issues for years and years is repetitive meals. So a clean diet isn't always a diverse one. If you eat the same 10 foods over and over, even if they're healthy, you may be missing entire groups of nutrients.
The repetitive meal thing, it's it for some people it sucks. Some others they love it because it's a no brainer. They just pop it in the microwave. But for me, eating the same thing for the past 9 years, a bag of chips, my boring sandwiches, and on and off, I would either have a soda, but lately I just been drinking water with electrolytes just because it's been getting warmer. But man, it's tough, but I wouldn't want it any other way. There's sometimes that like every second week on the weekend, I'll indulge and I'll have a cheeseburger, but it's just it's that's when that's now me eating better definitely has had its like benefits because I'm not popping ibuprofen every other work day because I got a headache. It's just eating better, getting better sleep, not consuming so much garbage, so
Yeah.
you won't feel like a trash can.
So just over the last year, did you notice a reduction in those ibuprofen?
Yes, and not to mention, I also found out I don't take them anymore. But then with me getting involved with all this, with the supplements, nutrition, and cracking down like on what's actually in these medication pain meds, like a lot of this stuff hurts your microbiome in your gut. So you might think that you're helping it, or you might have a headache. Yeah, let me just pop 2 Tylenols. And then later on, you do your own research and then you find out I might have been causing more harm to my gut versus the headache that I had for a little while. So as of lately, my gut health has been a lot better.
Yeah, I just noticed a lot of people too that take over the counter prescriptions such as ibuprofen, acetaminophen, and stuff too. They end up with more rebound issues.
No, of
So
course.
the more you take it, the more issues you have. Now you have gut issues, but before you went from a headache to where, hey, if that worked on a headache, and then the next day now you have a headache again, or the day after, and it's just repetitive. It just doesn't go away.
It
Uh,
becomes a habit.
it
It
does.
becomes a habit, and I got a light headache
It's
coming
a
on. Let me just go ahead and take a pill now. And it's not about that. You got to figure out why it's coming and what are you doing. What did you have to eat the day before? Are you sensitive to a specific food that could be causing the headache?
yeah, it turns into an addiction.
Yeah, I don't want to say I was, but for me, it was like maybe every third day I would get a headache.
Yeah.
Every third day, and
Yeah.
then I would just now it's rare. It's rare, and I'll figure it out. It's okay. Is it a sinus pressure? Do I have to take a nasal spray? Are my eyes dry? That's what I've always dealt with, like having dry eyes. But taking my night supplements along with the fish oil, I've noticed that I haven't really dealt with dry eyes in a while, but I still take my night eye drops. So just I don't. It's a habit now. It's all a habit now.
Yeah, and you get your body used to it,
Yeah.
just like they say other medication stuff too. But I think a lot of people, one, they're not going to know a lot about nutrient deficiencies or how it affects them. Two, they don't know that the medications cause a lot of this and stress. So learning that, those are important factors. Hopefully you learn that from this podcast. But you think, okay, if you are out there and you're taking these medications, what are they doing to your body? And maybe you need to run that organic acid test to see where are you deficient in these nutrients. Because the organic acid test will show bacterial overgrowth, fungal overgrowth. They'll also show neurotransmitters. They'll show your vitamins, vitamin C, vitamin Bs. It's a lengthy test and it has a lot of great information in there. It's definitely recommended. So for anybody out there that may have a concern, feel free to reach out and we can run that test. This is why we always talk about personal nutrition at Mindful Objective. Not because it sounds cool. It does sound cool though.
It does. I think it sounds cool. I think it's awesome.
Yeah. I think everybody grows up hearing about nutrition, but they don't understand what nutrition is.
Not until they become
Unhealthy.
that and more aware of what's really going on. Okay, this cheeseburger that I had what is it, a daily double or something like that with the lettuce. I had lettuce in it, but I'm not calling this is no shots to anybody that's having meals like that and especially for my mail carriers. They're walking out there just as much as I am. So if they need 5 to 800 calories of a boost just to get by, I support it.
What would you do if a mobile porta potty follows you around? They're like, oh, I'll get some business from this mail carrier.
Depends how much they're charging, but I will use it. I would for sure use it. Yeah.
Good business idea?
Good business idea, yeah.
Yeah. Again, a lot of people don't know about nutrient deficiencies. We know there's a lot of misinformation. I'm not sure if you saw too, but RFK, how I think the manual for nutrition's 500 and something pages, and now it's going to be 4 pages.
It's just keeping it simple. That's all it is now.
Yeah. Do not follow that food pyramid. I do not agree with that. It's not good at all. But yeah, it's your body has its own unique needs, how it processes stuff, how it stores stuff, and how it utilizes nutrients. So multivitamins help, but many people poorly absorb them. They miss key forms or just not strong enough to meet the body's real demands. Are you really stressed? Is that multivitamin barely scratching the surface? At least it's something, especially for people that have horrible diets. At least it's something to get some kind of nutrition.
And I agree. A lot of people would take supplements without knowing if it's a and I'm gonna screw it up. I can't think about it right now, but it's just they'll take a multivitamin on an empty stomach.
Oh yeah, no
That's
thanks.
that's not gonna go anywhere. It's not gonna do nothing for you. If it's having a fatty substance with it, as far as if it's an avocado toast, a handful of nuts, just anything rich in nutrition would help and navigate the multivitamin to the correct spots that they're needed in. But when you're taking a supplement on an empty stomach, it's not doing you any justice or good at all.
Yeah. Plus, taking supplements without knowing your levels is trying to fill a tank without checking the gauge. You could be underfilling or overflowing. And that's where so many people are blindly taking supplements, like we said, because they saw it on TikTok video. I just got to do TikTok and probably be a billionaire pretty quick.
Yeah, you need to get a TikTok. But if you're anything like me right now, m- my TikTok is full of caring for chickens and tools, and that's about it. Just those two things: caring for chickens, and then tool videos. That's all I'm getting right now, and some nutritional stuff. But it takes time away from me.
Yeah, I got to do it at some point. I know I got to get a TikTok out there for the business, but it's just so many things going on. I need hire a good video and editor,
I know a couple of people.
media people. So if you're out there eating and you still feel off, don't assume you're broken. You're probably just missing something specific, and that's where we're here to unpack. In this next part here, we're going to be talking more about nutrient deficiencies before they show up on a lab test. So again, just like your labs from your medical doctor, when you go for your yearly labs, your yearly physical, and they run those labs, if they detect something, that's when it's really bad. So that's not where you want to be.
And I feel like there's a huge difference where people don't really understand from a medical team when they get their blood work. It's like a look over, and that's it. All right, everything's fine. You're okay. But when it comes to integrative health and getting extensive blood work, we go in deep to see what little micro things are bothering you. What's going on? Is it a supplement deficiency? Is it a just the minor details as far as your thyroid? Are both parts of your thyroid's running good?
Yeah. Again, we work at the subclinical level, not the clinical level. Medical doctor works at the clinical level. They look at the top overall, how you're doing. We look at subclinical to look at the little details, like Gerardo's saying, to identify what's not showing up on those clinical tests. And where we see it differently is we see, hey, your body's stressed. You're depleted on vitamin C and these Bs because of this stress. You're not going to get that in your routine conventional blood work. So that's what we do differently. So let's talk about something that trips up a lot of people. You can be nutrient deficient and never hear a word from your doctor, right? That's what we just said. Why? Because most standard labs don't go deep enough. They only catch things that are really bad. Like I was saying before, they look at those clinical deficiencies, not functional ones. And again, if you get to the point where you go in and your doctor's, hey, your A1C is bad. It took a while to get there. And we could have saw that way earlier.
Yeah. And no, that's we're here to prevent long-term issues. And I've said this before many times. If I could do what I need to do now to prevent myself from taking harsh medication in the future, I'm gonna do what I can. And if I don't have a healthy body, I don't have a healthy mindset. I can't provide for my family, and everything else trickles down after that.
Yeah, like we always say, we definitely believe in Western medicine. You get a heart attack, go to the hospital. You get in a car accident, go to the hospital. But subclinical in your daily life, there's no way it should be specific to a medical doctor. That's not what they do.
No.
They're there to treat the symptoms. So you break your arm, hurt your arm, they're there to give you a pain pill. They're not there to say, you know what, this is causing that arm pain.
No. Exactly. Or the muscle tightness. They don't get too involved in your life. They just want to give you a prescription and get you out because they have somebody else waiting in a different room. They're not taking the time to invest in you and get to know you.
Yeah. So just remember, there's good news. Your body gives you signals way before things go completely off the rails. That's where these symptoms come into play. So you just need to know what to look for. You could start addressing deficiencies early before they become chronic symptoms. And there's a lot of people out there at this stage, you're in your chronic symptom, but it still could be addressed and rebalance the body and you could heal. It just takes time. So let's run through some common signs of low nutrients that most people miss or misinterpret. Craving chocolate or sugar constantly. That could be a magnesium deficiency. Waking up tired even after 8 hours sleep. You might be low in B12, iron, or another one would be vitamin D. Tingling in your hands and feet. B12 or folate might be low. Cold hands and feet. That's a red flag for thyroid nutrients, especially iron and selenium. Hair thinning, brittle nails, dry skin. This could be zinc, protein, or your omega 3s. Irritability or anxiety for no clear reason. Think about magnesium or B6. Headaches or muscle cramps. This is often linked to magnesium, calcium, or potassium, right? The electrolytes, that's where they help there a lot. Light sensitivity or trouble seeing at night. Vitamin A or zinc might be the culprit. So again, none of these are random. These are whispers of your body saying, hey, something's running low.
I had no idea that magnesium was tied to that it was tied to like a sweet tooth. I just thought that's what I had, man, to be honest.
Yeah, I think a lot of people out there, and just a reminder, Dave doesn't like sandwiches.
That's
So,
true.
yeah,
That guy.
I know.
For as hard as that man works, he deserves
I,
a steak dinner.
yeah, I love sandwiches though.
Not do too. That's my go-to because I don't have, like I said this before, I don't have a nice break room to go and relax. I used to get calf cramps after work, and then I figured it was hydration. That's why I think this is why I'm so on the board with electrolytes. I got people at work that would tell me, "Oh yeah, I drink 2 gallons of water," but just water alone isn't enough. It's if I could have an electrolyte vending machine at the post office, I will.
Yeah, one of the things too, and this was all from the like EMT stuff, all that back then, or the remembering all that stuff was I was out with Aaliyah, my daughter, my youngest, and we were walking through a store, and she came, grabbed my arm, she's like, "Dad, I'm gonna pass out," and then boom, she hit the floor. I thought I was walking her like out, and I thought she's gonna be fine. Oh, she's just being dramatic. And then within seconds, boom, she hit the floor. I held her while she was going down. I gently put her down, put a coat under her head. And I knew right away in my head that she's dehydrated. The thing is, she had these spells like once a year, always around like February, March. So could be anything. But then come to find out right away, I knew based on her symptoms, because she woke up right away as soon as I lifted her head up a little bit. I knew, okay, it's based on hydration. Her electrolytes must be off. And I thought, this is like the third time it happened in 3 years. I'm just going to, while this happened to her and she has these symptoms, I'm going to take her to the ER. Took her to the ER. But before I took her there, I was like, I'm going to get you a Gatorade. Gave her a Gatorade, got to the ER. She drank the Gatorade, started waking up, and she was more coherent. We got in there and there for 3 or 4 hours for nothing. My main thing was she's here, let them run tests so I could prove to everybody this is what it is. And she ran those tests and they came back in and doctor said, oh, the nurse told her, this was like weird. Nurse, oh, as a teen, it's normal to pass out a few times a month.
What? Get out of here.
That's what I said. I said, when is that normal? She's, oh no, it's normal because teens get anxiety. I was like, that has nothing to do with anxiety. She's dehydrated. And I said, let's run labs, all this stuff. So they finally ran labs. The doctor came in and stuff. He's, oh yeah, she's good to go now. I was like, we've been here 3 hours. Nobody said what's wrong yet. I want to see the labs. And the surprise thing to me, they're like, oh, after the age of 11 or something, whatever law that was passed, that I'm not, as a parent, allowed to see the labs. The kid has to approve you to,
BS.
and you have to sign some waiver or something online before you're able to get it. Either way, I got the labs, and when I was talking to the doctor, I told him, how's her sodium and stuff levels? He's, oh, they're low on here. So and I was like, they're low normal right now, and she just had a full Gatorade. So that's why she's getting better. I said, how come you guys still haven't given her an IV 3 hours? And you're just saying now, oh yeah, she looks dehydrated and stuff. So I had to force them to get an IV. And then they finally gave it. And it's like, oh, it looks like this caused by hydration. I was like, then why did she say it's normal to pass out a couple of times a month as a teen? I was like, this is ridiculous advice. But in the end, long story short, sorry, everybody, she was drinking like 2 gallons of water a day, and it depleted all her sodium and all that out of her system. So now she just drinks electrolytes, and it's been a couple of years, and she hasn't had any issues whatsoever.
and she
And that's
hasn't
what it
passed
was.
out.
Nope, she don't get lightheaded, nothing, and that's what it was. She was over drinking regular water.
And what happens when any patient goes into the hospital? What do they spike? What is a spike bag?
Yeah, they're supposed to do it, but I seen even talking to my eldest daughter, Danielle, they haven't been even if she had to go to emergency room and stuff, they weren't giving her IVs. At least she knows all this medical stuff, and she's like me on the side of medical, like, she done so much research, she knows her body, she knows what to do, what not to do. She could tell the doctor, like, blindly, "This is what's wrong, this is what you need to do," all this stuff, and they don't like to hear it, and
And I think that's what sucks. It's just like anybody, anybody telling you how to do your own job. You're like, I know what I'm doing, and it's the same for doctors, but they don't see how in tune most of us are with our bodies that we know what we actually need.
yeah,
So they're just gonna blindly take the test, wait till get a result. The labs are tied up, so now you gotta wait even longer. Just like my dad, he was in the hospital a couple of days ago. A home nurse went to go take a look at him and said, "You know what? You don't sound too good. Your oxygen levels are really low." What did they do? They loaded him up into the ambulance, took him to the hospital. They were there for I think it was 4 to 5 hours, just to let him know, "Oh, we're just giving him some antibiotics for the phlegm that's in his lungs." That was it. Nothing else. No oxygen. No nothing. And it's like E that could have been an easy fix to do a quick X-ray. "Alright, this is what's going on," but they're gonna drag it out.
they do, and is if your insurance is paying for 5-day hospital stay,
There
you're
you
staying 5 days.
exactly.
So, yeah, if you go to your doctor and you say, "I'm tired, I can't focus, my hair's falling out," then run basic labs, which is usually CBC, CMP, maybe even vitamin D, and those come back in the range, they say you're fine. But functional medicine looks at a different scale. We want optimal. Again, we're not want those fine levels. We want optimal levels, not just you're not sick. So let me be clear. I'm not anti-lab testing. Labs are incredibly helpful, but you don't need a lab to start listening to your symptoms.
That's actually encouraging to hear. A lot of people don't have access to expensive testing, but they do have symptoms, though. That's the problem. They have the symptoms, they just don't have the resources to be able to test.
That and how many people just blindly trust a medical doctor? No questions asked. They, again, from an integrative perspective, you should run these functional labs subclinically. This is what we could identify your nutrient deficiencies and stuff. Oh, no, no, thank you. But then they'll go to the doctor, spend $1,000 on labs, and doctors go, you're fine. And they're like, oh, I'm fine. But then they have all these health
Or
issues.
how about take this prescription, your insurance may not cover it, you gotta pay $500 every 3 months or something like that. Just something wild. But I've definitely learned, to just start paying attention to how I feel instead of just brushing things off. Even it's just like the dry skin, the mood, stuff that might feel normal. I know I shouldn't be putting it off.
Yeah, I'm with you. Then, like we say about tracking your symptoms, right? When clients track symptoms like craving, sleep, energy crashes, bloating, mood swings, patterns emerge. And those patterns point towards nutrient needs. And I think you learned that after me yelling at you.
No, that it's yes, I'll never let that down.
Yeah. So let's do a quick example. So a woman feels irritable, gets migraines, and craves chocolate around her cycle. Standard answer, what would it be?
They're the time of the month, but we all know, yes, it's PMS.
Yep. But if we look closer, she's low in magnesium, B6, and zinc. And those are all crucial for hormone balance. What do? We replenish those, and suddenly PMS doesn't knock her out for 5 days every month.
Do you think our wives would get mad at us instead of giving them chocolate as they requested? And we give them a handful of a magnesium, a B6, a zinc, just to be like, here you go, take these instead.
If they get mad, then they're PMSing.
Oh, but you don't want to tell them that. No way.
Yeah. So if your body feels off, trust that. You don't need to diagnose yourself. You just need to be curious and take the next step. So now let's talk more about deficiencies that you can't ignore. So we laid the groundwork. We talked about the top 5 nutrient deficiencies that we see most often, even in people who eat well and try to live healthy. These aren't just common, they're foundational. So when one or more of those are low, your body struggles, your metabolism slows, your energy tanks, your mood swings, your craving spike. Worst of all, you're just starting to think just you. It's not you. So let's walk through them one by one. One common one we say is magnesium, right? This is the powerhouse mineral involved in 300 enzyme reactions in your body. It helps regulate your nervous system, sleep cycles, muscle function, blood sugar, and even your response to stress. Common signs, you're low. What would they be, Geraldo?
For any low signs, when we're talking about anxiety, muscle cramps and twitches, especially around the eyes. That's when you know you're low on magnesium. Poor sleep, constipation, headaches, migraines, feeling wired but tired.
Yeah, magnesium is one of the first things to do when you're stressed. It also depleted by caffeine. That's another thing that dehydrates people that they don't know is caffeine. How many people drink coffee before drinking anything, or especially electrolytes? At least if you're going to drink coffee, drink electrolytes after.
I drink electrolytes before and after.
Yeah.
And it's just as much as I love my coffee, I would take a big gulp of my coffee and then just take a little sip of of the water. I don't know. It's just that's just in my mind thinking I don't want to fully deplete myself. And that's the
So,
headaches are gone pretty much.
yeah. The other thing too is people don't know sugar. I think alcohol and certain medications like antacids and diuretics will do it too. So another one that we talk about all the time is vitamin D. It's technically a hormone. Vitamin D is critical for immune function, bone health, your mood, hormone regulation. And a lot of people always think it's just a sunshine vitamin. It's useless if you live near the equator or get sun exposure. But we know that's not the case when we run labs. And what do we see? What are common signs of this?
The common low signs of vitamin D, we're talking about fatigued, frequent infections, low mood or seasonal depression, joint pain, hormonal imbalance.
Yeah, optimum vitamin D helps your body regulate inflammation, which a lot of people don't know. Helps you produce serotonin, anxiety. You think about that and chemical issues. You're low on vitamin D. It even helps you absorb calcium properly. Another one would be B vitamins, which we talk about a lot. This is critical for energy, brain health, and detoxification. So they're needed in general to help make red blood cells and neurotransmitters. Again, neurotransmitters goes back to the brain, anxiety, depression, all that stuff too. B vitamins are very important and they help your liver process toxins. So what are some common signs of low B vitamins?
Brain fog, low motivation, tingling in the hands or feet, anxiety or panic attacks, anemia or shortness of breath.
Yeah, and what about if you're a vegan or vegetarian?
Jeez, I can't even
You're more
you're low on everything.
Yeah, you're more at risk, right? B12 is found primarily in animal-based foods. Again, so if you're a vegan or vegetarian and you're not eating meat, you're not getting B12. That's where you need to take a supplement. And if you're taking antacids or have gut issues, absorption is also compromised.
For a vegan person, would you recommend them taking
A B complex, and you may need additional B12 specifically.
got it. Okay. That's it's good to know. For those that are out there that are vegan, make sure you pause, write it down. That way you don't forget and make a B complex and a B12 a priority.
Yeah, 100%. One of the things I have to say too is I didn't get a lot of migraines until this is, man, a decade ago, but I went vegan for a couple of years and I started with nonstop migraines. That's what started the whole migraine nightmare was going vegan. And in the end, running labs and stuff, I was super, super deficient in pretty much everything.
Wow.
So I learned the hard way, but I messed my body up for life because of that.
It
So
was supposed to happen for us to be here at this moment because
exactly.
if you were eating meat and eating like trash, you would have never gotten the test you needed to be in this position that we're in now.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, all worked out for a reason. Another one would be zinc. Zinc's a major one. It plays a role in your immune function, skin health, hormone production, and also your wound healing. It's also needed to make stomach acid. So deficiency can become a vicious cycle that worsens digestion. What are some common signs of low zinc?
Acne or skin rashes, slow wound healing, low libido, hair loss or thinning, loss of taste or smell, white spots on your nails.
Yeah, zinc is also crucial for testosterone production in men and egg quality in women. So another one that a lot of people harp on is omega-3s. These anti-inflammatory fats are essential, meaning your body can't make them. You have to get them from food or supplements. And I'm not a seafood person, so it's coming via supplement. I don't like fish.
Yeah. I love my omega and I noticed a difference. That is my I know you had asked a couple weeks ago, what's your wow or what do you notice? I notice when I don't take my omega.
Oh yeah.
That's when I noticed.
Oh yeah, huge, especially when your omega-3 to omega-6 ratio gets off. Causes a lot of inflammation and body aches and everything else. But people don't realize because it still takes time for your body to get your levels up and stuff too. So give it time, take omega-3. You want to take at least like 2 grams. So you could get this too by fish, wild caught fish, flax seeds, and walnuts are all good sources. But most people fall short. So unless you're eating a lot of fish, maybe you live in Hawaii or something or near a coast, you might get enough omega 3s, but it's not always. So what's common signs of a low omega 3s?
Dry skin or dandruff, joint pain or stiffness, depression or mood swings, poor memory or focus. That's a big one right there. And excessive inflammation.
Yeah. Low omega 3s are linked to everything from heart disease to cognitive decline to autoimmune flare ups.
I was I know for a fact that I was low on magnesium, but I had no clue that once I started supplementing with magnesium glycinate, my sleep, my muscle tension improved almost immediately. I take it every once in a while, but not every once in a it's once every other day. But I've also noticed a huge difference in the mood, focus after adding on the omegas. That's why I say now I omegas will always be stocked up
Yeah.
at my
And
house.
you're taking zinc and stuff too, right?
Yeah, those are all my night. Speaking about supplements, I'm running low on vitamin C, so I might have to hit your stats before I leave today.
Yeah. So that's why your libido's up.
Mhm. Exactly. No, I said I'm low. I didn't say I'm out of it, but I probably have two more capsules left. But
Yeah. So these nutrients aren't extra, they're foundational. We want to focus on foundational. Even if one of these are missing, your entire system can be throw off. Again, it's and people don't realize you take all these supplements all the time and then you stop taking it. It's dramatic on your body too, especially once you get your nutrients in.
gosh, it's just the same way. There's certain things. It's the same reaction that your body will have when you stop taking supplements is the same way that your body will react if you start having sugary drinks, as in coffee
For sure.
with flavored creamers and drinking pops. You
Yeah.
look at me. I stopped drinking pop and coffee for a little while, and I dropped 20 pounds instantly.
Yeah. It makes a huge difference. And that's where it goes again, nutrition. And people hear the word but don't really hear it. And the reason for that is I think because we hear about nutrition all the time, and what is nutrition in America? It's garbage. So unless you really focus on your nutrition, and still, even if you're eating healthy, like we said, you're still depleted in nutrients because of our soils, because of the how the food's made now. What is real organic? Are you buying quality meal?
The dirt has already been sprayed with so much pesticides already. So even when you change up your diet, if you can, if you got it, make the investment of getting organic quality stuff versus the quantity.
Yeah, again, mindfulobjective.com/resources. Again, mindfulobjective.com/resources. There's a handful of healthy shopping lists. Another one, anti-inflammatory information. There's one, how to read food labels, how to buy organic meat and dairy. So there are free resources there. Feel free to download them. Again, mindfulobjective.com/resources. Download those. They're free. Buy organically and change your diet up. Most of these won't show up as a red flag on your basic blood work that you're depleted. They do not run tests for that. That's why most people feel terrible while their labs say they're fine. So next, let's talk about testing without playing a guessing game. And here's the next logical question. How do you know what your body's missing without just guessing? How many of us guessed?
I think we all guess, honestly. It's just one of those things. Am I hungry? Do I want to eat something else? And it's a simple guessing game. That's all it is. And we always seem to make the wrong decisions, especially when we're hungry.
Yeah, no, for sure. I'll run labs on myself, like subclinical labs, the functional labs, and say, okay, I'm good on all these nutrients now. I'm taking B complex, doing zinc, doing this stuff. My labs look good. But then there's this new product that comes out, and a lot of times I do buy it and test it out. And it's not that I'm running a specific lab before I do that, but my foundational information, again, zinc, D3, K2, omega 3s, B complex, vitamin C, protein, omega 3s. Those are foundational that I would say just about everybody does need.
Yeah.
So at least start there. So again, mindfulobjective.com, you get 20% off retail on supplements if you need them, or you need a question answered. Just feel free to reach out and we'll guide you in the right direction. So we have to face it that there's thousands of supplements out there. And most people understandably just buy it because they said they did buy it saw it on TikTok. And that kind of makes me upset too, because a lot of people selling these products are selling low quality products for a high dollar amount, and they're giving out the wrong information and people are blindly buying it and it's making their body worse.
I'll do you a quick example. There's that nutrition guy, Bobby. He goes by, oh, it's Bobby approved. He did a video rating Khloe Kardashian's popcorn clouds or something like
Yeah.
that. It's called, and he did the Bobby approved it, and then someone else, like an actual integrated health practice, broke it down, and he pretty much said, okay, so it has all these extra chemicals that you said they weren't good in other products. Why are they okay with this specific product? Was because you're getting a check. And we all know that it's just there's so many out there. There's so many so many items out there that look nice. The marketing is amazing. The person behind it is popular, but it doesn't mean it's the best for you.
Yeah, and lately the big thing everybody's saying is a lot of these products on Amazon are not the original product.
That's what I'm afraid of. It's like just anybody just ordering anything, and I don't wanna say this because it's me and us, but it's if it's not coming from full script, like, I don't want it. Like, it's just does that make me, like, that I'm one-minded person? No, I just know that these products are all tested and vetted for.
Yeah, because the other thing too is like I used to prior to all this stuff, I used to order off Amazon stuff too, or if I needed something right away. Then I found out like I'm buying this product and then people are you read the reviews and then you do lab tests and stuff on it, and then you find out this vitamin D is not even that brand. They copied the bottle, they copied the
Oh my
label, and
gosh.
it's a totally different supplement in here, and we don't know what's in it and where it's from. So that's what's scary. So are you buying supplements? How do you know they're really from there? Because you'll see it'll say, I don't want to say a store name, we'll just say store one. It'll say, oh, this vitamin D is from store one. And then when you click on it and then you look at the profile that's actually selling it, which is always hard to find if you have to go to like description or reviews and oh, it's sold by something China Inc. So it's not even that
Gosh.
store. They're representing that store, but it's like a Chinese product, but it's like black label.
Well, yeah,
They're copying it.
just the same way that they mass produce and you have the lowest quality supplements that are at the store. It's the original one. You'll either see the green bottle with the yellow top, but you have that brand and then you have the store brand, and you're getting 120 pills of vitamin D for 350 versus from for what's available on full script. I think they're around the $30 mark. And it's like when you look at it that way, I'm prioritizing my health. Is it easy for me to go to the store and buy the crap ones? Of course, because it's cheaper and I could get way more for my dollar amount. But are they even doing any good to me? I know how much crap is in it now, and it's you know what? It's not even worth it. Spend the money, prioritize your health over anything.
Yeah, like we said before, there was that one pill that's supposed to have garlic in it from the store brand, grocery store, and they tested it and it didn't have no garlic in it. It had aluminum in it, no garlic.
Yeah.
And it just it's not vetted. It's not tested, no third party. Let's look at basic blood labs. You may go to your doctor and get vitamin D. In this one, you want to not be just within range. You want to aim for at least 50 to 80 nanograms per milliliter. That's where you want to range. Vitamin D, 50 to 80. B12, ideal is around 500 pg to ml, but also look for MCV or on your CBC. This will be on your conventional blood work. Ferritin, if you get your doctor to run that, these are your iron stores. Healthy ranges are different from men and women. Too low or too high can indicate problems. Magnesium RBC, which is not serum. RBC magnesium is better window into your body's health. And I know a lot of people out there do not know a lot about labs and stuff too. That's where we work with you. But we could also, if you're going through insurance through your medical provider, we could sometimes give you a list of labs to run if you could get insurance to pay for it. If not, then you could come to us, and still a lot of times we can run labs for a lot cheaper than even using insurance. So next, that's conventional labs. Let's look at functional labs. Organic acid test. This is a urine test. It looks at metabolic. So organic acid test, this urine test looks at metabolic byproducts and shows functional needs like nutrients of B vitamins, CoQ10, carnitine, and even antioxidants. It also screens for yeast, bacteria, and your mitochondrial markers. Another one we talk about a lot too is hair tissue mineral analysis. This shows heavy metals in your body, and it also shows calcium, magnesium, potassium, sodium, And like I said, those toxic elements like aluminum, arsenic, and mercury.
I'm almost certain that a lot of people out there are high on aluminum
Oh, yeah.
and possibly even on in mercury, and it's just I don't think people realize, not just people, all of us, we don't realize how many products we consume that have aluminum, but it's just because you're not eating a ball of aluminum that you cover up your veggies or whatever. It, just because you're not taking a bite out of it, it doesn't mean that you're not consuming them. It's just so many products out there. It's Why do you think some of the deodorants say on there aluminum free?
Yep. And it's not just things they eat, it's in the air we breathe,
God,
all the spraying and stuff going on. But I would say on the hair tissue mineral analysis test, testing for heavy metals, those two you mentioned are the two that always come back high for a lot of people, aluminum and mercury.
gosh,
And it's same thing. It's you have somebody, oh, I never use aluminum products, aluminum tinfoil, the food you ate at
yeah,
the store, at the restaurant, was it stored in aluminum? Like you don't know. So it's hard to say. The container of cookies you bought, it's an aluminum container.
God,
You just don't know. Or it's shampoos. It's in everything. Heavy metal detox. So one is I would say a 21-day functional medicine detox first, and then follow up with by that. Once you're done with that 21-day heavy functional medicine detox, you'd want to do a heavy metal detox to get those heavy metals out of your system.
mm.
So these tests help you to understand why is your energy low, why your immune system is weak, why do you get bloated, anxious, or moody after meals?
I remember getting the oats test, the organic acid test, and I got the results back, and I was being surprised. I thought eating plenty of vitamin B vitamins, and but my methylation markers were way off, and it's just for me. Even though you do the right things, there's some things that just don't stick, and you just gotta keep chugging along. Also, I had no idea how much stress was impacted. The stress itself was impacting my mitochondria until I saw those markers pop up.
Yeah. So that is key. Testing takes the guesswork out of healing. You don't need 20 supplements. You probably need three or four of the right ones outside of the foundational ones. Most people need those. And that's where quality matters too. Aldo was saying, not all supplements are created equal. Some are loaded with fillers, synthetic forms, and doses too low to make a difference. I see all the time too is, oh, people taking, oh, I take a multivitamin, it has vitamin C in there, and it has like nothing. You need like a gram of vitamin C, and other people are like, oh, it has 12 meg of vitamin C. You're not getting it right.
Yeah.
And they don't know. And that's what we're here for. So again, if you're taking these junk supplements and they contain fillers, now you're having liver issues or all this other bloating issues because you're trying to be healthy and that's causing more issues. That's why we only recommend clinically backed third-party tested brands, again, through Mindful Objective. And it's why we pass wholesale pricing along to our clients instead of jacking up the cost. We'd rather support long-term healing than turn supplements into a profit machine like all these people are doing on TikTok.
Yeah, and not just myself, but I'm sure a lot of people, just because it's expensive, it means well, but some of the best ones I've taken supplement-wise, they weren't the cleanest, but once I learned how to read supplement labels, I realized how many junk ones I had at home, so it's just now I focus on what testing tells me I need, so if anybody, even before we've said this before, but testing is one of the biggest things at the moment, just so you're not just spending the money on supplements you don't need.
Yep. So again, when it comes to lab testing or supplements and you have a question, don't hesitate to reach out, mindfulobjective.com. So that now we did talk about all these different gaps and these issues out there. And again, magnesium, vitamin D. What's the game plan, right? What does rebuilding actually look like in real life? And that's why people ask, what do I do? So I want to walk you through a step-by-step process we use at Mindful Objective to help our clients rebuild their nutrient foundations. So one, rebuild with food first. Again, we harp, food should be number one. That's where you should get most of your nutrients. So eat quality meats, quality olive oils, healthy fats, functional foods, bone broth, fermented foods, herbs. So think real food, color, texture, rotation, not perfection, just diversity and consistency. So another one would be support your digestion. You could eat the world's most nutrient dense meals, but if you're not digesting it properly, you won't absorb what you need. So you got to take a few deep breaths, calm your nervous system down,
I
chew thoroughly.
That right there, to support it, just take your time. Don't eat it fast. And I've noticed that when I take my time, I feel better. when I'm low on time and I'm rushing through that meal. I hope I'm not the only one, but there's people out there that are just like that's what kind of tanks their system. It's, oh, I shouldn't have ate that so fast.
Yeah, and the people could add bitter herbs to it too, like dandelion or arugula, and this will help stimulate stomach acid. And again, most people are low on stomach acid, not high, like everybody says. That's all you hear. Oh, you have indigestion stuff, whatever. You have high stomach acid. You're having that. And it's not. It's you actually have low stomach acid.
And that's what I've heard. I think I told you this before. It's like people with acid reflux. Oh, I have bad acid reflux. No, that's just in my, I think I read the article and it said you don't have enough acid in your stomach. That's why that's happening.
Yeah, or people are really constipated
Gosh,
and that's
it's
causing acid reflux because it's just backing up or they're overeating and stuff. And there's a lot of causes to it too, to where don't blindly, if somebody says to you, you have high stomach acid, take this whatever pill. A lot of times, did they test your stomach acid? No. I forgot what the actual metric is, but it's 90 something percent of people have low stomach acid. Something crazy like that. So again, gut health is a missing link in nutrient absorption. I've seen many people double their energy just by improving digestion. No new foods or supplements needed, just eating better. And I think you learned that.
yeah.
along your-
No, eating way better helped me out a lot. And it's crazy just for that, what you just said. It's no, no, I didn't take an energy drink. It's just, but I know people live on energy drinks. And that to me is just, I don't know. To each their own. I'm not gonna sit here and judge you and be like, "Hey, you shouldn't be doing that. It's gonna kill you," or "It's not. It's doing you a lot." It's giving you a quick fix. It's giving you a band-aid for the tiredness that you're feeling now. But when are you gonna come down crashing on it? So to each their own. They could do it. Every day we see a new popular energy drink out here. So it's once you realize the harm that you may be causing yourself, that's when you start investing in yourself.
Yeah, for sure. And then people got to supplement smartly. Once your digestion's on point, you want to get targeted supplements, magnesium, vitamin D with K2, methylated B and folate, zinc picolinate, fish oil, CoQ10 for energy. I think, again, at least address your foundational nutrition. Eat healthy and get on the right
Eat
path.
and sleep and hydrate.
Yeah, exactly. Number 4 would be a monitor, adjust, and repeat. Rebuilding isn't just one and done thing. Nutrients fluctuate with seasons, stress, and lifestyle changes. That's why we always say recheck your lab or symptom, like rechecking labs or symptom logs every 3 to 6 months. You want to at least do, if you can, functional labs at least once a year. Just see what your body's doing and get you on the right track. You want to adjust your doses based on stress or activity levels. You work like you in the summer in the heat. You got to say, oh, now I need to drink more water. So it's just you're working out, you're doing a marathon, you're depleting yourself of more nutrients.
Yeah. No, it's you have to dose accordingly to your body as well. Like I know for a fact that the amount of electrolytes that I'm consuming now, I won't be doing it in the winter. I would be doing half of that just because I know my body, I'm not going to be sweating out all the sodium in my body.
Yeah. So that's why at Mindful Objective, we walk people through the entire process. So we don't want you to have to guess. No. So from testing and personalized plans to vetted supplements at a discount, we help you cut through the noise and get real results. Stop following TikTok videos. Let's go the right direction, get you on the right health plan.
Yeah. And for me, I'll be honest, having a system made it easier for me. Once I knew my top priorities, it took away the stress of doing everything. I focused on better meals, took the right 3 to 4 supplements, and just tracked how I felt. That's when things started shifting. When I started tracking my food, when I started tracking my body, my symptoms, that's when I was able to move things around and pinpoint what was bothering me, what was, you know, what was best for me. My advice, don't wait until you feel awful. Start now, even if it's just adding one thing like magnesium or better food variety.
Exactly. It's one day at a time. Start slow. And it's not about perfection. It's getting on the right track. So as we wrap things up, know that you don't have to be perfect. You just need to start from where you are and build from there. Because healing doesn't happen from hacks or trends. Stop watching these wasteless videos and just more and more misinformation out there. This all happens when your body gets what it needs to function. You need to give it tools. The body will do the rest. So, again, thanks for joining us on Real Talk. So, if you've been feeling off, low energy, mood swings, weird cravings, trouble focusing, know this: you're not broken. You just might be missing something your body needs. And I guarantee everybody out there is missing something. So, personalized nutrition is about being perfect, like I talked about earlier. It's about listening to your symptoms, getting curious, and making adjustments that actually work for you individually. You can't compare to like your neighbor or your friend. What works for them may not work for you, and it will most likely not work for you.
Yeah, and to be honest, this conversation has helped me out a lot just to connect all the dots. I used to think nutrition was just a macros or eating clean, but now I get that nutrition, everything. When you get the right ones in place, the whole system works way better.
Yeah, exactly. So, again, at Mindful Objective, we help people figure this stuff out from functional lab testing to supplement protocols and real life nutrition coaching. So if you're tired of guessing, head to mindfulobjective.com. You can explore podcast episodes, get personalized support, access high quality supplements at a discount. Reminder, as always, this podcast for information and education purposes only. We do not diagnose, cure, or treat any illness or disease.
And if you've got a question you want us to answer on the show or just don't know where to start, we're here for that too. You do not need to do this alone.
Yeah. And you don't need to do everything at once. Just pick one thing that works for you. Like I tell people all the time that, you know what, at least start now if you do testing, like we started with you before, is at least start with food sensitivity test.
Yeah,
And then go from there. You don't have to spend all the money. You don't need 500 labs right away. Let's do one thing at a time. You listen to these podcasts, you try your best, you make changes. It didn't work. Okay, now let's do a food sensitivity test. Okay, you're still struggling. Let's do organic acid test. But maybe let's get you on a functional medicine detox to clean out your liver and all that. And then maybe get you a heavy metal detox to clean out those heavy metals and then see how you feel. And then you know what? A lot of people feel super good after that and they're on their way. I don't hear from them for a while. And then other ones, there's more testing we need to do. It depends what your condition is. But
yeah. And from the detox that you ended up passing over to my wife, she liked it. And it was a simple liver detox. And quite frankly, once you're done detoxing, don't go and retox your body. There's crazy plans out there you got people doing 20 to 30-day water fast and they break it with a huge greasy meal. I wouldn't recommend that. But
yeah, I see a lot of videos too where people like functional medicine detox, it has all your multivitamins, your nutrients, your probiotics, has liver and stuff support to clean out your liver and all that. So that's one thing, developed by a doctor, science backed. And then you have these other ones where people do a 30-day fruit cleanse, like a grape cleanse or
yeah,
30-day watermelon cleanse. Now think of you doing watermelon for 30 days. Like definitely you're going to lose weight and
oh,
stuff.
of
Like
course.
it's common sense. But how deficient are you after that 30 days? What did you
Very
just do to your body?
exactly.
So I don't think people get it. They just see it. Oh, this guy's saying this video, 30-day cleanse, whatever, do this, that, and I'm going to be healthy. And they look at it because they lost weight. Well,
Exactly.
you
Yeah.
know what? Now you just damage other things in your body. So you might feel good for that month or the month after, a couple of months until your body really recognizes and then your body crashes. And now you try to eat normal. Now you're having all these issues. So again, try one nutrient dense food this week. Fix your bedtime. Start tracking your symptoms or even take your supplements consistently. That's a big one that a lot of people don't do. It's, you know what? You have these supplements, take them every single day. If you want them to work, like when you're sick, you don't take vitamin C just when you're sick. You take vitamin C all the time. So when you do get sick, your body magically just fights it
Heals
prior, you know?
faster.
Yeah. Heals faster. But again, because progress isn't about doing more, it's about doing what works constantly. And because progress isn't about doing more, it's doing about what works consistently over time.
And that's it. Start simple, stay consistent, and give your body the stuff that your body's really asking. And just before we take off, I just want to send a shout out to my boys. They've been asking for a shout out. So my oldest, Noah,
What up, Noah?
my middle one, Lucas,
What up,
and my
Luca?
youngest, Gabe. So shout out to all three of them.
Hello, Gabe. Yeah. So until next time, stay well, stay grounded, and as always, keep it real.